Hey, what's up? Today we're going to be talking about some pretty crazy drama that has blown up on TikTok in the past couple days regarding whether or not the influencer Reagan Corsi killed her cat. I feel a little bit weird labeling this situation drama because we're talking about potential animal abuse. I mean, people are being pretty dramatic about the situation, so I guess you could call it drama, but then that gets into the question of how exactly do we define drama, and that's a pretty irrelevant question. Sorry, I'll just move on. Reagan is a TikToker with over 4 million followers. She mostly posts like lifestyle content, I guess you could say. Most of her TikToks are her just talking about what she does on a day-to-day basis. I think the reason she's become so popular recently is because she gives off this vibe of like someone you'd want to be friends with. She seems pretty like friendly and down to earth. And obviously, if she's allegedly killing cats behind the scenes, this would obviously shatter this image of her as this friendly, down-to-earth person. This whole situation started a couple days ago when a podcast clip from an influencer named Antonio Garza resurfaced where she alleges that Reagan killed her cat. I haven't been able to find this podcast clip, but Antonio recently posted a video responding to the allegations that she made in this clip.
Okay, I'm going to clear something up really quick because there's crazy things happening online being said, and it involves me, so I'm going to talk about it. So there was a podcast clip that went viral earlier this week where I said that a TikToker or influencer had allegedly unalived their cat, and people went crazy with it because obviously that's a really crazy statement. But here's the thing. One, I did not come up with that story. I did not make it up. It was a rumor that I was told by people who lived with her at the time. This was also 3 years ago, by the way, that podcast happened, and somehow it ended up on the internet, unbeknownst to me. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that I was getting thousands of comments, hate comments, nasty, of people telling me that I was a liar and that I made this up. And with new developments tonight, things that I'm now seeing for the first time in my life, now I could say confidently that I don't think either of those things are true. I did make this up, and I don't think I was lying.
So I find it a bit weird that she's saying, I don't think I was lying, because she should know whether or not she was lying. Maybe what she actually meant to say was, I don't think I was misinformed. Because Reagan is a very popular TikToker with a pretty devoted fan base, it sounds like a lot of her followers went and accused Antonio of lying when they heard about this allegation that Reagan had killed her cat. Obviously, without evidence, it's impossible for us to know whether or not Antonio was lying, but with the way fan bases work on the internet, whenever they hear an allegation against one of their favorite TikTokers, they will rush to accuse that person of lying. If you hear about an allegation that comes out about one of your favorite TikTokers, I think it's reasonable to want to wait to see evidence to see if that allegation is true or not, but I don't think it's reasonable to rush and label that person a liar before you've even seen evidence of whether or not the allegations are true. But of course, with how the internet works, it is a very tall order to expect teenage fans of a TikToker to react in a reasonable way. Now, do I think it's good that Antonio accused Reagan of killing her cat? Well, I guess that comes down to the question of whether or not she actually did kill her cat, which is what we'll get to. When Reagan first found out about this podcast clip that accused her of killing her cat, she posted this response video.
There's this podcast going around saying that I killed my cat. It's like 4 people, but I'm guessing that the podcast was from a long time ago, probably like 2021. I don't know, because in 2021, I had a cat named Seven. I used to post with her all the time. You can find videos of her if you look up Seven, Reagan's cat. I had her when I first moved to an apartment, and then I moved into a content house, and I had a master bedroom, which was literally bigger than my actual apartment at that time.
So basically, in 2021, Reagan lived in a content house with a bunch of other TikTokers where she adopted this cat named Seven. At first, the content house told Reagan that she wouldn't be allowed to keep a cat within the house, but then they eventually changed their mind and allowed Reagan to keep this cat Seven in her room. Reagan adopted this cat named Seven from an animal shelter, and she had this cat for a couple of months until one day she found that her back door had been left open and the cat was missing.
I go down towards the end to get my last things to get her litter box and start getting everything together to move her up, and I notice that my back door is open. I immediately freak out because I have a cat. So my back door is open. I have a cat. They're very curious. She's going to go back there. Long story short, I've explained this story so many times on social media, and then people comment things about it and say that I like killed my cat, that I starved my cat, that XYZ. I'm guessing because of this podcast, because I've always wondered where that came from.
According to Reagan, she was confused why people were accusing her of killing her cat because, according to her, her cat had just ran away, and it wasn't her fault that her cat ran away because the door had been left open. According to Reagan, she was really freaked out that her cat had run away, and she searched for this cat for multiple days, but she was never able to find it.
I lived in the hills, so it was a really sad situation because after a day or two of not being able to find her and still looking, I kind of came into realization that it was going to be hard to find her.
Some people have brought up videos that Reagan posted around this time where it doesn't seem like she's that distressed about losing her cat. In my opinion, this is kind of weak evidence because there's a chance that off camera she really was freaking out, but on camera she was trying to put on a happy face because, making videos was her job. But I've seen a lot of pet owners say that like if they lost their cat, this would be all they'd be able to be thinking about. So it is weird that she wasn't freaking out on camera that much. If she really didn't care that the cat had run away, this would obviously feed into the narrative that she was neglectful towards the cat. But I don't think this is like damning evidence that would conclusively point things in one direction or the other. According to Reagan, people on Reddit are making up lies about her because they just don't like her for some reason.
Anyways, what I was bringing up about the Reddit page is like you can go look at all of these XYZ things and you can believe they're true if you want to believe they're true. You can also not believe they're true if you don't want to believe they're true. I'm doing so well with my content, with my mental health, with how I'm doing the best I've ever done, and I'm being public about it. So with that, as for anyone else who starts doing really well on social media or doing even better on social media, they're going to get just as many haters as they have of people that love them.
There's a subreddit called Reagan777 Snark, which is just dedicated to shitting on Reagan. I've always found it a bit weird that people will make entire subreddits dedicated to just shitting on someone that they don't like. Like, even if you think someone's a shitty person, why would you choose to invest this much of your time and energy into hating on that person? Like, usually if I think someone's a terrible person, I'll just tell people that they're a bad person and then move on with my life because I don't want to waste all this mental energy obsessing over someone who I think is a bad person. However, let me make the case for the opposing argument. The people who make these snark subreddits would say that the reason they make these subreddits is so that people can't just keep sweeping all of the bad things about certain creators under the rug. And so, like, in their eyes, these subreddits are a way to hold these creators accountable for their actions. And like, I can see this argument. If someone is a legitimately terrible person, it can be good to keep a record of their bad behaviors in order to hold them accountable. But unfortunately, when you create an entire community that is just dedicated to hating on someone, usually these communities become incredibly biased. So instead of just being a place where this creator is being held accountable, they can devolve into this toxic echo chamber where every single negative thing being said about this creator gets validated. All of this to say, I'm not trying to like attack the Reagan777 Snark subreddit. I know literally nothing about these people. All I'm saying is that in general, I don't think this is like a healthy practice to make snark subreddits about people. Sorry about going off on that little tangent. I've been wanting to talk about snark subreddits for a while. Anyway, back to Reagan. So far what she's claimed is that she adopted this cat, she had the cat for a couple months, someone left the back door open, so the cat ran away. But here's where things get a little bit crazy. The cat actually did not run away. The cat was actually stolen from Reagan. A couple of days ago, someone posted a video to the Reagan Snark subreddit revealing that they had stolen Reagan's cat. According to them, the reason that they stole the cat is because they found the cat in a very malnourished and neglected state.
Hey, you perked up a little bit? Yeah, you're gonna be fine. Here you go, see? Yeah. This is 7. This is 7. This is how she looks. Her face. Her coat's kind of raggedy. She's kind of trouble walking. Yeah, walk a little bit.
The cat is incredibly skinny, its fur doesn't look like it's in a good condition, it's having trouble walking, and it even starts to have some seizures. At this point, this video had just been posted anonymously, but soon after this, the dude who had stolen the cat came forward and revealed himself. It was a TikToker named Jacob with the username CouchDaddy. Jacob had briefly lived in the same content house as Reagan in 2021, and this is when he decided to steal her cat because he found it in this malnourished state.
Hey guys, so recently there have been some allegations regarding one of my old roommates and what happened with her cat. And unfortunately, I have to say that those allegations are true, and I was the one that tried to save the cat. My mom was in town, and we noticed that Reagan's cat did not look good, and its hair was matted, and it looked super skinny and seemed sick or malnourished. So we decided to open the back door to the bedroom and take the cat and take it to the vet. I did this because I knew that the cat had been sick before and was never taken to the vet, and I thought that the only way for me to save it would be to take matters in my own hands and take it to the vet and open the back door and make it seem like it ran away. When I took the cat to the vet, they said that she looked extremely unhealthy and malnourished and offered to put her down because they didn't think that she was going to be able to make it. But we decided to try and do everything we could to revive her and give her food and water and just see if she was going to be able to make it or not, because we didn't want to just give up and put her down. I ended up having the cat for about a week, and it unfortunately did not make it after taking it to the vet and doing everything we could.
So, according to Jacob, he stole the cat from the house, took the cat to the vet, and the vet said that the cat was in such a bad condition that it was beyond saving, and shortly after this, the cat died. The question of whether or not Jacob was justified in doing this, I think, is a difficult question to answer. He says that he was worried that if he tried to have a conversation with Reagan about how malnourished her cat was, that she would just ignore him, so he decided to take matters into his own hands.
The reason I didn't directly go to her and say your cat needs to go to the vet is because she made it very clear that we were not very friendly with each other around this time. And if I would have gone and said that your cat needs to go to the vet, she would have told me to mind my own business and that she's got it under control. And I didn't think that I had time to argue with her and try to convince her to take it to the vet. It just needed to go immediately.
Obviously, from a legal standpoint, you can't just take someone's animal if you think that the animal is in a bad condition. This is the reason why we have animal control. They're the ones who are supposed to settle disputes like this when you think that someone is mistreating their pet. But I can also see the argument that animal control doesn't really have a great track record of handling these sorts of situations well. So from a legal standpoint, I would definitely never recommend taking this sort of vigilante justice. But from a moral standpoint, I can understand where he was coming from. But like, if this situation were involving someone's child instead of their pet, you obviously can't kidnap someone's child if you think that they're mistreating their child. That's why you do have to unfortunately go through the legal system in these sorts of situations. Once Reagan saw Jacob's video revealing that he had stolen her cat, she posted this response video.
Reagan's cat did not look good, and its hair was matted, and it looked super.
I'm gonna show y'all 7 the night before all of this happened. August 3rd at 10 p.m. These are videos, and I can only post screenshots because I stitched this video and I can't add a video overlay. Here's another picture, which I will be posting the full videos after this. Where is my cat's hair matted in that?
In my opinion, this was such a dumb response. If you're trying to post proof that your cat wasn't malnourished, why are you posting these pictures where you can barely see the cat? This would be like if I was like, oh no, of course I'm not mistreating my child. See how healthy he looks? You can't see him, he's right there in the corner. You've just got to squint your eyes and look really close. It's not my fault you have bad eyesight. No, I don't have pictures of my child in brighter lighting conditions. My child doesn't deserve sunlight.
There is this video of my ex with 7 on August 1st. Here's the video of my ex with my cat on August 1st.
Bless you.
Gotta stop getting sick.
My ex says, you gotta stop getting sick, dude, because my cat would get sick often. My cat would get sick for 2 or 3 days. It would just be a cold. So whenever the adoption center told me it could just be a cold, I didn't think anything of it.
So to prove that her cat was okay, she posts a video where her cat was very clearly sick a few days before her cat was stolen. Reagan says that her cat would get sick a lot, but that the adoption center she got the cat from told her that she didn't need to bring the cat to the vet. In my opinion, even in this video that she showed of the cat with her ex-boyfriend, the cat already looks like it's in a pretty bad state. Now, she claims that after August 1st, when this video was taken, the cat got better.
Also, between August 1st and August 3rd, my cat had gotten better. Seven had gotten better.
But I find this pretty hard to believe because otherwise, why would Jacob have taken the cat? Does she think that Jacob just took the cat for no reason? Whether or not it was right for Jacob to take the cat is a difficult question to answer, but I do at least believe him when he says that he was worried about the cat. I find it very unlikely that he took her cat to the vet because he just didn't like her or something. I do think Jacob should have communicated with her though. At the very least, he should have revealed to her that he had taken the cat once the cat was at the vet.
And you wanted to avoid confrontation. If my cat was in that state, which I have video evidence of her less than 24 hours before, you tell the owner, who obviously cared about her, Jacob, you didn't even live in the house for a whole month. You cannot attest for how Seven was treated, if she was being fed, if she was being watered.
Because at that point, I think she at least deserved to get to spend those last few days with her cat before it died. But I guess from Jacob's point of view, he thought that she was an animal abuser who didn't give a fuck about the cat, so she didn't deserve to know that the cat was about to die.
This picture is going around of Seven. This is Seven the day that I adopted her. The day that I adopted her. Had Seven had any underlying conditions that I was not made aware of, I would have done more about that, and I would have had her on medicine. I would have done a lot more, but I was not made aware that she had any underlying health issues.
So from this picture of Seven that was taken on the day that Reagan adopted her, it honestly looks like the cat was already kind of sick from the start. And if the cat was sick from the start, but they didn't tell Reagan about this, this was a big mistake on the part of the animal shelter. And it was also a big mistake on the part of the animal shelter when they told Reagan to not take the cat to the vet when the cat was very clearly sick.
And I'm not trying to shift blame here, because when she was initially sick on August 1st, I should have taken her to the vet instead of just calling the adoption center. I should have.
This is just speculation on my part, and I'm obviously not a vet, but from what I can tell, it seems pretty likely that the cat might have had FIV, also known as feline immunodeficiency virus. If the cat had a virus that caused it to be immunocompromised, that would explain why it kept getting sick so often. And FIV is associated with weight loss, lethargy, and neurological disease, including seizures. If I had to guess what I think happened in this situation, I would guess that Reagan adopted this cat with FIV or some similar condition. Over the course of the 3 months that Reagan had this cat, the cat's condition continued to deteriorate, but Reagan thought that the cat was just having colds. So Reagan reached out to the animal shelter and asked them if she should take the cat to the vet, but they said that they didn't think she needed to. So she just ignored that the cat kept getting sick, which led to the cat being in a very bad condition, which is when Jacob took the cat. If I had to guess, I would say that I don't think Reagan was intentionally neglecting the cat.
It's also late at night, but I have other people who have said they are going to talk about it, and they will attest for the fact that she was fed, she was watered, she was taken care of, she was loved.
I doubt that she was starving the cat or refusing to give it water, but I do think this was a case of unintentional negligence because she absolutely should have taken this cat to the vet.
I should have taken her to the vet regardless of what I was being advised to. I should have, just to see if there could have been anything else going on. Me being young and me being a first-time pet owner is not an excuse.
I guess the question at the heart of this that really determines how in the wrong Reagan was is how much did the cat's condition deteriorate from when Reagan took the cat from the animal shelter to when the cat was taken by Jacob? Because if the cat had lost a lot of weight over this time and Reagan just did nothing, this would be very negligent. But if the cat mostly stayed the same and it seemed like the cat had just gotten a cold a couple of times, then I would say that's less negligent.
This is Seven. The day that I got her, she has never not looked like this. There has not ever been a time that she did not look like this.
Reagan should have definitely still taken the cat to the vet, but I wouldn't say that would be as bad as if the cat was actively losing weight and was having a lot of seizures like it did in that video. So I think exactly how negligent Reagan was towards the cat is something we can't exactly know for sure, but at the very least, she definitely was negligent because she should have taken the cat to the vet. When I take a step back and look at this situation, in my opinion, every single person in this situation fucked up in one way or another. The animal shelter fucked up by not properly testing the cat or knowing whether or not the cat was sick before giving the cat to Reagan, and the animal shelter fucked up by not telling Reagan to bring the cat to the vet. Reagan fucked up by not taking the cat to the vet and by being negligent around realizing how bad the cat's health actually was. Jacob fucked up by choosing to play vigilante instead of going through the proper legal channels. And he fucked up because he was so scared of confrontation that he chose to be dishonest to Reagan when she deserved to know about what was actually going on. And Antonio fucked up by accusing Reagan of killing her cat instead of acknowledging the possibility that maybe Reagan just didn't realize how sick her cat actually was. If I had to guess, I would say that Reagan probably did care about her cat, but she was still a negligent cat owner because she didn't take her cat's health seriously enough. So to any pet owners watching this, there is no excuse for you to not take your pet to the vet if you think there might be something wrong with them. And if you can't afford to take your pet to the vet, or you're too busy and preoccupied to take your pet to the vet, then you probably shouldn't have a pet in the first place. And if you're someone watching this who sees a pet in a bad situation, unfortunately, you can't just take matters into your own hands because this is a great way to legally fuck yourself. And if you see a pet in a bad condition, you can't just assume that the owner is starving the pet. The pet might have some sort of disease or underlying condition, which is why you need to communicate with the owner. I hope that everyone in this situation comes out of it with a better understanding of the right way to treat animals. Because at the end of the day, who really gives a fuck about our stupid interpersonal drama? The thing that really matters is keeping animals safe. And with that, I will see you guys next time.